Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit more in depth about what Packback is. I know we discussed this in the syllabus video, which I apologize was fairly lengthy. This may be another somewhat lengthy one, but we need to go over this so you guys are aware of why we're using this and how to utilize this particular program. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll talk a little bit about what Packback is and why we're using it. So Packback is an AI-supported online discussion platform. Essentially what that means is it's a discussion board. I know that we have discussion boards on Blackboard, but I don't particularly like those because they allow students to make low effort, low impact posts that don't have any meaning and don't provide any quality or value to whoever they're replying to or to the course itself. So I went ahead and we're going to utilize Packback. Packback is going to give you feedback on your posts and your replies. It's going to give you feedback on your writing skills. It's going to give you feedback on your curiosity, what they call your curiosity score. So are you asking open-ended questions? Or are you asking closed-ended questions? So that's just a little bit about what Packback is. Remember, it's just a discussion board. It's just a more engaging discussion board, which is what we're looking for in this class. So, here's what the impact of this is. This is going to help you guys develop effective questions, right? Critical questions, critical thinking questions. So in your career, you are going to spend a lot of time asking questions, especially when you first start. I had an in-charge tell me at one point when I first started at the auditor's office that if he was working with a staff member, like a staff one, and that staff was not asking questions, he was worried because he knew then that that staff was probably didn't understand what they were doing, but were too afraid to mention it or to address the issue, and B, they weren't learning or growing in their role. So he was expecting them to ask these critical type questions. Also, it's going to help you develop your skill in asking questions during interviews, which we'll talk about when we get to the interview portion of this class. But, when you're in an interview, especially a professional interview. Most of you have probably done interviews, but it may have been for a non-professional environment. Maybe it was fast food or a restaurant or something like that. And a lot of those times, they're the ones asking you the questions. When you get into these interviews with big employers, especially like a big four firm or one of the big firms here in Springfield, they're going to expect you to be asking most of the questions to them during the interview. This class and this particular program, Packback, is going to help you learn how to develop those effective, impactful questions. It mentions here working in a team. When you're working in a team, asking these questions helps you identify opportunities for innovation, helps you identify opportunities for improvement, and it helps you identify opportunities to step into a leadership role, which is something that a lot of employers look for. They want people that can step into leadership roles naturally. They don't want to have to point and ask. They just want somebody that can step into those roles and be a good leader. And that all starts with asking these kinds of questions. So our specific objectives with Packback in this class, what we really want to use these for is to make sure we're engaging with the material, that we're engaging with each other, the other students, you guys, that you're engaging with myself. I really want to be engaging with you guys. That's a personal goal of mine this semester, is to make sure that I am more engaged with the students in the online community. And I also want you guys to be engaged with Anna and Lane. I'm going to make them hop into a video. I'm going to make them get into a video and introduce themselves so that you guys can see them. I really think that seeing each other's faces is going to be one way that we can remain engaged with each other. We're not just faceless usernames on a screen. We're actual people. I want you guys asking open-ended questions about the career. So, what does the profession look like? For example, how many hours are you going to work every week? And, well, that depends. That's a typical accounting answer right there. It depends. But How many hours a week am I going to work? What's the typical work week look like? What kind of work will I be doing? And again, it depends. Um, and then I'll make many, many references to my own work experience and the career goals that I've had throughout my professional career. I've worked for years and years and years in corporate and professional environments, so I've got a good bit of experience that I can share with you guys, and I am not ashamed to admit that I've made mistakes in my career. I've made missteps, and I'll share those with you guys and hope that you guys can learn from them the way that I did. But I'll also share with you guys some success that I've had as well. So, if you guys have had mistakes and successes, I want to hear about those too. It's always interesting to hear from you guys. So, how exactly is Packback going to fit into this course? So essentially, when you take your traditional accounting courses, so think like most of you are probably in 301 or 302 right now. Those are more traditional accounting courses. Those are the number crunching, theory and concept courses where you're learning the basics of accounting. So you're going to get a course lecture, and that's your remembering function. You're going to remember all this factual information and all the concepts and theories. Then you're going to have quizzes and you're going to have tests. We won't generally have those in this class. This class doesn't necessarily lend itself well to quizzing and testing. It's more practical application, I feel. But so, in other courses, you're going to have the quizzes, you're going to have the tests, and that kind of proves that you understand the material, that you understand the concepts that you're learning, or that you can at least, for the moment, memorize that material and those concepts. And most courses are going to expect that to be your mastery of those course objectives. In this course, we're going to add that third element. We're going to add the Packback, and that's going to be your analyzation, your evaluation, and generating open discussion amongst yourselves on the Packback boards. So we're going to use these boards, these Packback discussion boards, as ways to discuss the material. Kind of that quizzes and tests. It's almost a combination of that Packback and quizzes and test bubbles here. I'm going to talk to you guys about things. I'm going to provide you prompts. You're going to look at course material, and then we're going to see how do we apply that practically. What situations have you ran into in life where these are actually applicable, these things that we're talking about? Can you see that they're applicable to the professional environment? And that is how we are going to be utilizing Packback to make sure that's going to be that third piece of mastery for the course objectives in this class. So this is the part I'm assuming most of you are most interested in. How am I going to be graded on this? What are the requirements? And it's pretty simple. Packback's going to be worth 10% of your final grade. And I'll explain to you why. The seated version of this course places a heavy emphasis on participation during the course lectures. So when I'm actually standing in front of the students lecturing about the material, they're expected to participate by asking questions, by making comments, by chirping in, participating in class, being an active participant in their success. I want the same thing for you guys in this class, but we're asynchronous. Not everybody's in the same time zones. People are working different schedules. I cannot expect you guys to be together all at once. So we're going to do it this way. You guys are going to engage with each other and myself and the GAs, Anna and Lane, through Packback. And it's going to be worth 10% of your grade. This is essentially going to be your participation grade in this class. I'm going to stress this, and I'm going to read it word for word for you from the slide. This is an important part of this class. Please take it seriously, as it will affect your final grade. If you're doing the math in your head right now, if you do not participate in Packback and you get 100% on everything else, you're going to get a 90%. You'll get your A. However, that is not going to be the majority of students. If you do not participate, I will say right now that if you do not participate in Packback, the odds of you getting an A in this class are extremely low. And I don't want to harp on and on and on about this, but I do want you guys to realize how seriously I'm taking this Packback and this engagement. how seriously I'm expecting you guys to be engaged with these posts. I know that a lot of times this seems like busy work in other courses, but in this class, participation and engagement with yourself or with your classmates and with myself, I think is so important, and I am grading it as such. Hopefully, from what I've seen, these are more interesting and more engaging than your typical discussion board posts on Blackboard. So we'll have a little fun with this. I've tried to make the prompts and the questions that I'm going to be asking to get you guys to post as interesting as possible. So weekly deadline, just like any of the other material that we have, is going to be due Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m., so midnight basically. What you're going to post every deadline for each Packback assignment, you're going to post one question and you're going to post 2 responses. This can be a reply to another student, it can be a response, it can be a counterpoint, or it can be, if somebody's posting a counterpoint to your question, feel free to post a supporting point to your original question. We're just expecting some engagement here. So 1 question, 2 responses. You're going to see this thing, it's called a curiosity score. We're going to expect you to maintain a minimum curiosity score of 60 points per post. That's not super high. These curiosity scores go all the way up to 100, but these are fairly rigorous curiosity scores. So you're going to have to do more than just post, I agree with you, I think it's a good idea too. That's not going to be acceptable. You're not going to get full credit for that kind of post. This next point down here, it says half credit for posts with a curiosity score of below 60. Let me move my camera here so you can see that last post here. There you go. So right here at the bottom, you can see it's half credit for posts with a curiosity score below 60. So I am going to give you credit for posting it all, but you're only going to get half credit for that reply, that response, that counterpoint, supporting point, whatever it is, if the score is below 60. This will make more sense once you get in there and actually start making posts. So, this sounds a little weird to you guys, but really what this slide right here boils down to is access Packback through Blackboard. Don't go to like packback.com and then log in and try posting from there. You just want to go through our Blackboard site to get there. That's how it's going to link everything from Packback back to your gradebook in Blackboard. So follow these 3 steps each time you need to go in and make a post, and that's how, like down here where it's bolded, right here, that's how your grade's getting transferred from Packback back to Blackboard. So essentially, like I said, this slide boils down to just access Packback through the Blackboard links. You are going to be responsible for the gradebook sync portion of this. This is not as scary as it sounds for you guys. Move my camera again here for you. Essentially, you're just going to need to go, when you get to your profile, just go to track my participation, then hit participation report, and it's going to show you this synced symbol right here. And that means that, okay, your points that you've gotten in Packback, they're now transferring back to Blackboard, and we're good to go. If I see that for some reason you're not getting all your points to Blackboard or something, I'll email you. We'll work it out. It's my first time using the program. I'm assuming it's probably most of you guys' first time using this program, so we're going to make it as copacetic as possible. We're gonna work together. If you're having issues, if I'm having issues, we'll work it out together. So Packback's AI and how to check your grade. So this is an interesting part of Packback. So the AI in Packback is going to flag posts that might be violating the community guidelines. Those then get pushed back to a moderator. The moderator is going to review them. If they feel like, oh, this didn't, it flagged it for a reason, but the reason's not sufficient, they're just going to repost, and you'll probably never know that it happened. However, if they do find something wrong, they're going to completely remove that post. They'll send you an email, and that email will have a link to allow you to edit your post so that it can be republished for points. The flags are for plagiarism, which you guys should all know what it is, but don't worry. We're going to be covering that in a future week in this class. We'll be talking about academic integrity. Closed-ended questions. So like here, it gives you what is the definition of mitosis. For us, a closed-ended question may be, where do revenues hold a normal balance? Well, there's only one answer for that, right? So that's a closed-ended question. I can't really expand on that too much. Or just general classroom questions like, when's the next test? Are there going to be quizzes? Things like that. Those are more geared. Those would be better suited in the Blackboard discussion posts, the general class questions posts there. Or if you've got low effort, low detail posts. So those posts that I talked about earlier where it's like, I agree, I think toast tastes good too, we should be friends. That's a low effort, low detail post. Those are going to get flagged and kicked back to a moderator. So just some things to be aware of there. So this is what's going to happen basically for the moderation process. Your post is going to get flagged. Just because your post is flagged does not mean you've lost points. You still have points there. Your post is still published and you're still getting the points. The next step is the moderation step. So your post is going to get moderated. If the post is moderated, it gets unpublished, no more points for you. However, if your post does get moderated, you're going to receive an email that's going to tell you that it's being moderated. In which case, you'll come up to this third step, which from the email, you'll have the opportunity to edit and republish the post. And then the post is then republished and you get your points back. So with no penalty. So you can track your participation for current deadline periods to make sure you've got all your points this week, to make sure you've done everything you need to do this week. Also, it lets you track any moderated posts you may have. Again, you'll just go to your profile up here, your name. This is your profile right here. And you can click the Track My Own Participation button. You'll get a participation report, and it's going to tell you, so for this deadline here, you've got 1 question and 2 responses, which is what you need. You're under the current average curiosity score. You need 60 and 180. So that would help you work on all of that. So getting started and getting help. This is going to be pretty simple. You need help with Packback, some serious technical help, questions about why something's not working. Email this address, help@packback.co. They're available 7 days a week, and they're going to help you with all of your big technical issues. Don't email me with Packback issues, because essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to end up emailing them, and it's just I'm going to be playing middleman. So you're better off just going ahead emailing this help@packback.co address. They're going to help you quickly. I've been working with them for a couple months now with the program. They're excellent. They're very responsive. So you're going to get much quicker response from them and probably more quality help with the actual technical side of this program from them. So, all right, guys. Well, that is basically it about Packback. The registration information is all in the syllabus, so hopefully you guys have opened that. If you haven't, you need to. But all of your registration information is there. You can also get there through your Blackboard site. And that is really it. So if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, request set up an office hours meeting, either Zoom or in person. You can call my phone. But if you got any questions, don't forget, I'm happy to answer anything that I possibly can. Thanks, guys.